I've got it on my list anyway.
Oh my god, people. I'll have to go into hiding. Paddy Conroy has got me on his list. His list. Do you know what? He's not the brain of Britain, is he? Goes out and announces it to the world that I'm on this list. It doesn't explain what this list is. So that if anything was to happen, guess who the police are going to knock on his shed door to start questioning? Mr. Paddy Conroy, and ask him about his list. People, make sure that your children's priority in life is education. Education. Then they'll be intelligent enough that when they want to go and target someone, they don't announce it to the world. And thank you for giving me the chance to clarify one thing. You said that I was the first person to say we needed to do background checks on you, Paddy. You've left one important fact out of that. I wasn't only asking for you to have background checks on you. I was asking, you remember when you were friends with Tony Burkett and Paul Ellis and had them in your shed?
Tony Burkett, he doesn't want to mess about with Tony Burkett neither. He's already done big jail for slashing people to bits. Do not fuck with Tony Burkett neither, I'm telling you. He's a younger version of Gary Carroll.
And you were starting up the child protection team, which you were the head of. I said you all needed to get background checks, including Tony Burkett and Paul Ellis, because if you were going out, which you were intending to, talking to victims of Decahegi, including children, you needed background checks done. You left that bit out, but thank you for letting me clarify that. And I think most people, right-minded people, would think that that would not be unreasonable. I'd ask that of anyone who was claiming they were going to have contact or protect children, for them to have background checks. And she'll tell you who agreed with me on that. Your friend now, Maria Howarth. I did a live with her, interviewed her. And I specifically asked her that question. Should people who are claiming to be a child protection team have checks done on them? And she agreed with me 100% and said that all people who claim to be protectors of children or predator hunters should have checks done on them. And I'll actually put a link at the end of this video and in the description of a live I did ages ago with Maria and Paula Benny, where we specifically discuss this. Paddy, Tony Burkett, Paul Ellis setting up a child protection team. Now, you'll see there, someone tell me if I'm being vicious or horrible in what I'm saying. No, all that I'm saying is that anyone getting involved in work like that needs to be checked out. And this is the same Maria, let's point out, Paddy, that said you were lying when you claimed that she'd done checks and cleared you. Do you remember that? So that is why I said, not just you, Tony Burkett and Paul Ellis, who were you, very good friends at the time, needed checks doing on you. And that was a fair thing to ask. Now you're trying to make it sound like something sinister. You know, not buying it, Paddy, not buying it. And let me also point out, it was me who was the first one to call out Tony Burkett on his saw acro and said that there were a large number of papers missing. That was me. That's when you, Paddy, would still have to be in your shed being friends with him and bigging them up. So let's just get that fact straight as well. Now, lastly, but no means leastly, you made a claim, Paddy, when you were talking to Creepy Craig, that you were the first one to call him out on what he said about Decca and him being in an incestuous relationship with his sister and the damage that could do to Decca's niece. No, actually it was me. It was me, darling. But the trouble it can really cause is for the child involved or any of Decca's nieces and nephews. I don't know how many nieces and nephews he's got, but it can cause problems for them. Serious mind-wrecking, life-wrecking problems. And this is what annoys me about Craig. He really is totally irresponsible. He just throws out there, look, even if you thought it was true, you're a 40-odd-year-old man, you have the sense to know, I'm not going to put this out there, because guess what? The one that's going to really suffer is the child. Now again, as say, Paddy, as for this list that you're going on about, if you're going to go making threats to people because they just respond to you, that doesn't make you the better person. It's like what you did to Craig. He was forced. Shadowboxer said that. Let me make it clear. Shadowboxer said that Craig had no choice but to go to that shed.
People are calling Creepy brave for coming up, but he'd no option.
Because he was intimidated into going there. And you're trying to make it sound like that somehow it was a friendly little cup of tea and chat you were offering him to. No. Shadowboxer blew the lid off that claim by saying he had no choice to go there. And forcing someone into a situation like that is forcing them into a situation where they're going to feel obliged that they have to tell you what they want to hear. So when he apologised to you and did all that and told you what you wanted to hear, the circumstances negate the genuineness of that. It's like when you get a confession out of someone under torture. You can't rely on it because you're extracting it in a way. Because the likelihood is, well, the certainty is that they're going to start telling you exactly what you want to hear to stop the pain. Everyone knows that. That's why the vast majority of countries stop torturing people to get confessions, because the validity of those confessions are nothing. Because it's been forced under the person out during duress, extreme duress. But when you're making threats, Paddy, of putting people on the list because you want to be able to say what you want to say and never have anyone debate what you're saying, just let's tell you this. I'm 59 years old. I've been in situations, very, very, very dangerous situations, which I've been warned about. Don't say this, don't say that, you'll be disappeared and all that. Do you see any scars on my body? There's not one scar on my body. But anyway, lastly, let me say this. I hope when you wrote my name on your list, you spelt it properly. Because my name is spelt S-E-X. Why? Bye-bye for now, my lovelies.